There is a question from an honest seeker. Let me read it. Namaskaram Swamiji. There occurs a strong feeling that I am ever exposed, open, and awake always, unlike the body having several sense organs, prana, mind. I mean, there is no avarana to me, the Satchit. It is like a huge, endless, open light. But the disappointing thing is that this feeling disappears in deep sleep. Practicing to live consciously as that while awake. This is discrimination in Advaita, isn't it, Swamiji? But realize that this is the Jiva Bhava, dependent on the body, while Brahman is totally independent of body, and Jivan Mukti too is through the body only, for it is Jiva who experiences bondage. Correct me, Swamiji, if the line of thought is wrong, with deep regards. Swamiji, it feels that we are all like the conduits for the flow of jnanam through us, each time getting new thoughts when reflected. So this is the question and some of the clarity she got. Okay. There occurs a strong feeling that I am ever exposed, open, and awake always, unlike the body having several sense organs, prana, mind. See, the very realization is not on the physical level at all. Once transcended, once you had transcended, once you had realized yourself, that puts a full stop to identification of any of the bodily feelings, bodily organs, be it breath, be it speech, be it seeing, be it listening, be it tasting, or the whole of this apparatus falling asleep. That is what is called as transcendence. It is very crystal clear. It is a feeling of beyondness. One feels one doesn't exist here at all. It's an innate awareness that has woken up, that got awakened in one. This is what is realization. This is what is enlightenment. There is no honky bonky business on this. There is no confusion in this. Let me be very clear. You said there occurs a strong feeling that I am ever exposed, open, and awake always. Absolutely true. Ever exposed. Even this, a kind of a you being exposed at all times during your waking state. This is also the egocentric I amness trying to still have a hold on you. Even go beyond this. This is what is my clear. I am shedding clarity to your these sort of feelings too. Realization is a crystal clear, transcended state. It is not an existence of a separate another state. It doesn't exist beyond these three states, namely the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states, and staying somewhere else. There is no question of where, somewhere. There is no question of someone undergoing that. All someones are this very I amness. All somebodies are this very same I amness. There are no many somebodies, there are no many someones, there are no many somewhere, elsewhere. All these are all vasanas, past registrations. What do we mean by vasanas? They are nothing but past registrations. You continued it saying, I am ever exposed I am ever exposed, open and awake always. Absolutely, this is beautiful. Still, to express this, you would have used these words, am, ever, exposed and awake. You would have used this amness word to express your realization also. To that extent, it is absolutely true. Beyond this amness, I also have the essential my nature's feeling as that I am never enclosed in this body, I am never enclosed in my thought patterns, I am never confined in my feelings patterns, I am never confined in any of this. And if one asks me, if one questions me, where are you now? Where do I exist actually? If I am not this, any of this, where do my existence is? Because there is only one existence, that is like deep sleep state. There is no other waking state existence of this cosmos or an individual. There is no other existence of a dream state like existence of this cosmos or an individual. Nothing exists apart from deep sleep state. There are no other states at all anywhere. We need not use that word anywhere also. It makes meaningless. There is no other at all. When there is no other at all, one is engrossed in oneself, one is dissolved in oneself, one is living in himself, one is throbbing in himself. What is that himself? There is no himself. Itself. That is the self. That is the self of this cosmos too. There are no two selves. As if the cosmic self and a private, separate individual self. There are no two selves. Even now, during the waking state, only one mind is prevailing. One cosmic mind is prevailing. That cosmic mind, with that cosmic mind, this got associated. This being of a name and form, this is getting associated with it moment to moment. That is what is one's waking state. Okay. So, here up to this point in your question, there occurs a strong feeling that I am ever exposed, open and awake always. Yes, beautiful. This is the reality. This is how you will have to go. If suppose the next word starts, unlike the body having several sense organs, prana, mind, etc. Let it have, let it not have. Let the body or even let the mind be present as this cosmos with innumerable names and forms, with a phenomenal manifestation parading in front of us during our waking state. Let my body display anything and everything. Let it display the breathing patterns, how it is changing. I am not here to look at them. This I amness is totally the only original self, the only original essential self of everything, and this can only be realized by a purified intellect in a man. You had attained that, so why to bother about this? Unlike the body having several sense organs, prana, mind, yes, they are movements in inertia. Physical body is a movement in inertia. This is proved during our deep sleep state. It is lying down on the bed, on the cot, like a log of wood. Death doesn't matter. Death is another hoax of the same mind, same cosmic mind. In the same cosmic mind, this I amness remembers out of past habits and actions and experiences as if this man is a separate individual and there are all several individuals living in this earth, and there are several beings throughout the cosmos. All these are all nothing but the play of I amness from the cosmic mind. We never get out of the cosmic mind. This is transcend. This is what is Atmajnana? What is self-realization? Self-realization is nothing but transcending the cosmic mind itself. There is no such mind in the cosmos. There is no private mind in me, but they are all linked out of these past experiences that are all stored in the I amness, in the intellect, that pops up as a birth. It feels, it reacts, it relives, it dies, it is born. All are the display of one cosmic mind. I mean, there is no avarana to me, the Satchit. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is getting proved in deep sleep state, isn't it? If you look at your yesterday's deep sleep, however long you slept without any disturbance, what was that? Does it not exist? It exists now too. It is the underneath substratum of everything. Even the cosmic mind, even in the cosmic mind, there is no existence of a separate cosmic mind apart from oneself. Only oneself. There are no many selves. There are no many individuals. Even during waking state, there is no question of a separate individual coming into existence. Then where is the question of varied phenomenal manifestation to have taken place? No, not at all. I mean, there is no avarana to me, the Satchit. Yeah, you, the real me, that never under any veil. Avarana means veil. Avarana means like a screen, like a smoke that covers the hidden flame, the fire. Like that, there is no ignorance at all. There is no nescience at all. There is no display of any manifestation at all. Then how does one live? This will be your next question, anyone's question. For him to live in this world, to identify and react, act, live, he needs I amness. That has already come into existence by his birth, taking a form as a man or a woman. Already they have come into existence. And amidst this, his auspicious vasanas have arisen in him. Because of his in his earlier incarnations, he was serving a alive guru, alive realized jnani. That is why these have arisen in him. The auspicious vasanas have arisen in him. That is why in this very birth, already he is endowed with many characteristic roles that are all getting merged in his I amness feeling at the center. The egoistic I amness feeling, it carries several roles from the angle of the society, from the angle of the family, from the angle of the different professions, jobs, work. These need not get disturbed at all. What is the problem in this? Within, not even one separate individual, Externally, the whole manifestation is there. Out of that whole manifestation, his family calls him by different names. His relationships, his relations, they call him with different character roles. They name him with different character roles. The society names him with different character roles. Let all this happen. What's the problem in this? Our individualities carry only utilitarian value. What do they carry? They carry the value by acting, by reacting, by responding, by shouldering some responsibility. But underneath those character roles, there don't exist a self at all, an individual at all. An individual at all. What's the problem? So, no actions, these actions which I do during my waking state, carrying, shouldering many responsibilities on those characters and reacting, responding, living, performing, whatever I call. What the problem they have? Intrinsically, they don't exist. You are working absolutely out of freedom. All these characteristic roles are acting out of enormous, limitless freedom. What is that limitless freedom? You are the only oneself. You need not confine even to that character role. You can, that character role will absolutely perform to its fullest excellence. Each character role, they will play out. They will display the utmost skill it is having. Okay. I mean, there is no avarana to me, the Satchit is. To Satchit means even the character roles should feel that. They give an example. When we go to Haridwar or Rishikesh, when we dip our body, when we want to have a holy dip, we go there. We just enter the streaming Ganges. As we enter, as we go and stand near the shore, what happens? Half of our body is in water, submerged in water. It is in water. Up to the waist level, the water has been flowing. And from here to the head, scorching sun. In the same one physical body, half of the body is going, a chilly water being passed through. Half of the body is merged in the chill water of the Ganges, and half of the body is under the scorching sun. Don't these feelings, dual feelings, happen at the same time in us? Let several character roles be played, but who is the player? You now have realized. You have realized who is the character, main character, the very person who lives in you, as everyone. That bubble got broken, that bubble got exploded. So, where is the problem? Where is the trouble for you in performing these roles? So, you are always the unveiled, uncovered, liberated, enjoying absolute limitless freedom of being oneself. So, where is the question of avarana? So, already that unveiled, limitless, spontaneous, only self. It is like a huge, endless, open light. Yeah. Don't confuse with physical light. Physical light which we have invented and we are using during night times, and the light of the sun. Don't confuse with that. Without that light, you just can't even wake up and act, think, feel your existence at all. So fundamentally that is shining, whether this body has breath in it, this body contains life in it, or it is dead. Even dead bodies are lit only by that light, even inert matters. But here only the question is, we should realize while living in this body itself that this very body which I am identifying with as myself is already dead one. Because this doesn't speak, the body doesn't speak, the speaker comes from somewhere else. He is coming from the cosmic mind through this I amness. Even that cosmic mind is an illusion. It doesn't exist. That is what these satsangs impart to you. Okay. But the disappointing thing is that this feeling disappears in deep sleep. See, this even mukti, the state of liberated feeling, as if you got out of the body, and because see this sentence shows that you had identified liberation with your physical level. At the body level, you are giving this doubt, you are raising this doubt, because you say in deep sleep, this feeling, this openness, vast openness, this awakeness, that also vanishes. For whom during waking state this liberation has happened? Liberation is not a happening for that particular physical location. Liberation is not happening for that particular seeker as a subtle mind existing in you. Liberation doesn't happen for that intellect with its feeling. Liberation is not getting liberated from feelings. Liberation is not getting liberated from thoughts. Liberation is not getting liberated from this physical body. And liberation is not deep sleep state also. All put together are one cosmic mind. All are feelings. All are getting displayed in innumerable phenomenal objects. Innumerable. Right from dark energy, dark matter, four forces, atoms, subatomic particles, quantum particles. Everything is permeated by feelings, and those feelings along with the cosmos also disappear when we fall asleep. Lock, stock and barrel, you cease to exist in deep sleep. Everyone ceases to exist, even with their life being not felt. There is no feeler at all to feel that he is living in deep sleep state. When such is the case, even liberation and bondage are all only arising because of this ego. Who was seeking, before attaining realization, who was seeking liberation? What was he seeking actually? By seeking, what do we mean? Seeking means you don't know what your feeling is, but you are feeling it already, and you want to extricate yourself from that feeling. You want to stand in front of that feeling and want to look at it as if an object that has arisen as in you as a feeling. But where do these things happen? For whom is this happen is the right question. When that question is solved with through investigation, where does one land? Both ignorance also, the bondage also falls, as well as mukti, the liberation also falls, because they are only just like birth and death in one cosmic mind. We transcend the complete cosmic mind. Where do we go? Do we go somewhere in this cosmos itself? Is there any zone beyond this cosmic mind, some zone to which we travel? No. That is, here are all certain discrepancies in realization, still attachments with the body, still attachments with the states are all being seen by you in your question. The question itself reveals you are caught up with some of these things. Still, this is how it dilutes. It won't leave you just like that. You will have to be constantly in the sannidhi, the presence of a realized jnani, through some sort of communication. Otherwise, you cannot get explained. You cannot get beyond this illusion, because it is such a tight, prefixed, everything is prefixed. So you will have to often be related, questioning, clarifying all your doubts. In this, you should not leave any doubt unanswered, uninvestigated, uninquired in this path. It is million times far sharper than an artistic skill. We have gurus for learning music. We have gurus for learning vocal singing. We have gurus for using instruments, playing instruments. We have gurus for everything. They are all partial skills. They are all the skills of an individual who thinks himself to be playing those skills, training himself through those skills. He still remains to be a player, a singer. He is learning singing. He is learning to play a music on an instrument, musical instrument. He becomes a dancer. He becomes an actor. All these skills are all exhibiting partiality. They exhibit only a partial skill. They are not full. The fullest, even medical sciences, even one becoming a vice chancellor of thousands of universities of this earth, he is not a jnani. Jnani is someone who has transcended dualities of feelings and he has crossed this shore totally, completely. Neither bondage exists nor liberation also exists. This is what Adi Shankara in his Nirvana Shatakam he has given this. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vipurvyapa sarvatra sarvendriyanam sadame samatvam na muktir na bandha. I don't have bondage. I neither entertain mukti, because sadame samatvam. I am nothing but the equanimity. What is that equanimity? It is not equanimity of feelings. It is not the equanimity of non-existence in the body. It is clearly a marked, transcended, complete transcendence. That is what is self-realization. Practicing to live consciously as that while awake, this is discrimination in Advaita. Isn't it, Swamiji? No, this is not a discrimination. Advaita means completely transcended zone, just like in deep sleep. Deep sleep is also only an example which proves again and again for whole of the humanity, there in deep sleep one is not even born, then only he can die. The similar case, there only one is not bound also, then only he can seek for liberation, freedom. That also doesn't exist. Then where is the question? There is no discrimination in Advaita. Advaita is very clear. Advaita means it is not even a propagation of a theory or a siddhanta or a practice. It is beyond, it is the truth, it is the fact. Deep sleep is a fact. One not born, one having not taken a body, physical body, is a factual truth. So there is no discrimination in Advaita in while explaining about this. It is very clear, it is very emphatic. But realize that this is the Jiva Bhava dependent on the body, while Brahman is totally independent of body. See, again you are lost in identification with the body. There is no practice, sir. Brahman is again a word. My body is again a word. This bound state is nothing but the I amness having caught in these words. My I amness thinks, feels as if it is caught in bondage. It is only a feel. It is ignorance. In deep sleep, where you a realized entity or a bound entity, if someone is bound or if someone is liberated, what are all those things which got liberated and what are all those things which are bound, that is existing even during deep sleep? There is nothing at all. Advaita is a fact. Everyday sleep. One is not even born. There is no question of even spiritual practice to attain this. It is already an existing complete full state. That's all. But realize that this is the Jiva Bhava dependent on the body, while Brahman is totally independent of body, and Jivan Mukti too is through the body only, for it is Jiva who experiences bondage. See, Jiva means living organism. Body means living organism. Everything means the same. Jiva and bondage are same. Jiva himself is in bondage. That is why one should earnestly seek a Guru's guidance. Realized Guru's guidance. I repeat the word, realized Guru, realized Jnani. Yes, realized. He only can guide you. So first of all, why do you refer to the body as the lamppost or the hallmark of showing that one? He is never dependent on a hallmark or landmark. The Guru never depends on a landmark. He is complete. He is beyond all landmarks because there is no he in him. At the best, what they show as an example, the third day of a full moon towards full moon, right from the Amavasya, no moon state, right from no moon or blue moon, the very third day comes that moon rampirai. That also exists for some duration only, some moments only. With that, how can you point to that? They say, just like that, you will have to see in between. Neither a full moon has come nor a dark moon is existing. Somewhere in between, in your subtle body, in your mind, you will have to look within yourself. That is why we have been advising, what is the only way to this? Dwell within yourself, always behind your thoughts, always behind your feelings, and also see who was behind your thoughts, who was behind your feelings, who as you was behind that. What is his form? What is his way of looking those feelings and those thoughts? Just be. This will give an immense opening in you. That I itself becomes the I of the self, I of the reality. Correct me, Swamiji, if the line of thought is wrong. Yes, absolutely. You should not try to take the perspective and look at that through your body, through your waking state, through your name, through your comfortable bodily feelings or discomfortable body feelings. Nothing of this sort at all. It is lying elsewhere altogether like deep sleep state, but it is not deep sleep too. It is not deep sleep state, that is self-realization. Self-realization is complete. Here and now, I know my feeling is illusory, and the thought which arises upon that feeling is also illusory, and the world and my physical body, all these things are nothing but illusions created out of my I amness during my waking state, constantly receiving and emitting signals to the one cosmic mind. This I amness comes into existence because of that cosmic mind, and there is no cosmic mind also during our deep sleep state. So there is neither I amness nor cosmic mind. There is no question of taking the perspective and doing vichara, investigation, from the from the angle of these. Okay, I think with this I will end this question.